And we're back from the center of a black hole to bring you the exciting continuation of AniMay18, your daily dose of anime every day in May. Let's blast off to tween romance and the sci-fi comedy Space Patrol Luluco. Hiroyuki Imaishi is my all-time favorite anime director. Although he wasn't involved in my favorite anime, Fooly Cooly, he was a major player in Studio Gainax in its heyday. Once the best in the biz, Imaishi has since started his own studio, Trigger, as a spiritual successor to Gainax. Trigger's mantra seems to be loud and audacious fun, and each of their shows really exemplifies that. None more so, I think, than Space Patrol Luluco, which is essentially a love letter to everything Studio Trigger. Space Patrol stars the titular Luluco just trying to live a normal teenage life with her father in Ogikubo, Japan, which just so happens to be where the studio is located. Unfortunately, Ogikubo is the planet's hotbed for extraterrestrial species, and as such, Luluco's day-to-day is anything but normal. To make matters worse, her dad accidentally ate a mysterious pill during breakfast and froze completely solid. Now, with one of Space Patrol's top operatives out of commission, it's up to Luluco to take up her father's mantle and protect the denizens of Ogikubo from space crime. The show consists of 13 quick 5-minute episodes if you subtract the OP and ED for each. As such, each episode is frantic with jokes and visual gags coming a mile a minute. Very much in the style of another famous Gainax show that Imaishi directed, Panty and Stocking. Both shows have bold outline character designs and limited animation to really blow up that extreme cartoony look. Both shows get away with some mild swearing, but Luluco is much more kid-friendly than Panty and Stocking. I think the shows are also going for a more American-style cartoon feel, at least aesthetically and tonally, but I could be totally off. Now, as if it weren't hard enough to stay normal in her typical life, whenever Luluco's spacesuit detects a space crime, which is basically just a normal crime but in space, like space theft or space cheating, the suit will activate and transform her body into a gun automatically to deliver justice. To make matters more complicated, the new kid, Alpha Omega Nova, is not only a member of Space Patrol as well, but a total dreamboat. Now Luluco's got to balance school, her Space Patrol duties, saving her dad from space pirates, and confessing her love to Nova. The story is fairly simple until it deep dives into the origins of the Black Holians and their plans towards the end, but for the most part, Luluco is a short and sweet slice of life that just so happens to have buck-wild space combat. It's hard not to touch on spoilers since the series is so short, but the midway episodic structure really dragged for me with pointless cameos and fan service. And not the sexy kind, like literally content in service of fans of Studio Trigger. If you've ever seen any other Trigger show, nearly each one gets their own micro-arc, but none of them add anything besides distracting padding in an already incredibly short series. If the cameo characters had been more interestingly weaved into the story, Avengers style, I think it could have been interesting, but as it stands, even though they reference some of my favorite anime, I didn't much care for them. But seeing as how the story wraps up to be an origin story of sorts for the studio itself, I can appreciate the celebration of these IPs even if it can come across as a little self-indulgent. That said, I think Space Patrol Luluco can be enjoyed on its own without knowledge of any other Trigger shows. The characters are endearing, and the humor can be legitimately funny if you're into more frantic, absurdist comedy like Adventure Time. The show pokes plenty of fun at itself and its tired cliches, but comes away with a genuine, heartfelt message that's hard to feel cynical about. I would say just about any other Trigger or Imaishi show does it better, but if you want a quick and dirty look at what Trigger can do or want to revel in the studio's collective work, I definitely recommend it. Luluco proves that normal isn't all it's cracked up to be, and I hope Studio Trigger continues to be abnormal and deliver more incredible shows for years to come. Maybe consider doing something weird and subscribing to this channel. Otherwise, come back again soon for even more AniMay18.